for us doing this conference is fun, but it's becoming great when we get nice feedback. And Chris from Verivox, when did you first come to NOAH?
2012.
2012, and the company has done many deals since then, and we're going to talk about this. Then there's Mauro from Italy. Facile, maybe known as the Check 24 of Italy. It's the #1 lead gen for insurances. Verivox is in the insurance space and also in the utility. And then there's one gentleman, Alex from Oakley, who has...
So we invested in Verivox in 2009, so have been in the sector for quite a while.
And how much did you pay back then for Verivox?
I think we paid 20 million.
20 million.
5 of equity.
Isn't that the EBITDA 2 years ago now?
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah. That's about right.
Okay. So you invested 2009. Then it took you another 5 years to do the next deal, and we were on the sell side in our normal job.
It's hard to find one. It's hard to find. I mean,
and you invested in Facile. What led you to this investment?
Basically, it's the development of the market. It's the stage of evolution in the market. So, you know, the underlying markets are the same. So if you look at the car insurance vertical across, if you look at the UK, Germany, and Italy, it's a 21 billion market.
These are the premia paid to the insurance companies, 21 billion for the three?
Yeah, same size. And so, but the difference is the stage of evolution. So in the UK, 80% of transactions happen online, and the majority of which go through price comparison websites. In Italy, at the time of the investment, that was 10%, and 50% were direct, and 50% were through price comparison. So that's the broad thesis. It's really about the market evolution.
So like in advertising, like Spotify is used in every country, a great product, a great service will be used in every country, and you looked at Italy and said, well, 10% versus 80% looks like there's some room to grow. And a little story from my side, as the banker, the worst what can happen to you when recent trading, when you sell a company, is a little weak. And Facile, like a few weeks before we were signing the deal, the new customer growth was quite weak. And all the investors said, yeah, guys, I mean, nice company, nice market position, Mauro is a superstar, but the numbers, I think we want to wait that one out a little bit. Not Oakley, they increased their bid, and they looked it through, and they were the happy winner. Because after a few weeks after signing, I'm not sure if it was driven by your investment, but some very large insurance companies decided maybe we should add the platform, should ourselves to the platform, not a bad idea. And now they're taking, I think, a huge market share. So Chris, Verivox, I also worked on that one for a while. You have been the CEO since 2012. I think we met in the first days you started. And at some point we had a long lunch or dinner and you told me about TV advertising and you became very operationally. Tell us a little bit about the history of the company, because when you took over, there were the founders originally, I think British, and then you came over and yeah, a lot of things happened since 2012. Maybe you can talk a little bit about the journey from Oakley and then getting ProSieben as an investor, as a shareholder, as a major one. And yeah, where does the company stand now? We are seeing a lot of rumors also.
Yeah, well, since 2012, a lot of things have happened. I guess the biggest event was ProSieben taking over with Klaas van Delden.
So you have to speak a little louder and a little clearer.
A little louder? Is that better? Okay.
Do you hear Chris?
So, can you hear me? There we go. All the way in the back they can hear me. I saw a couple of thumbs up there.
He's on the phone. He doesn't hear.
He's on the phone. Okay.
Okay.
So, no, I think ProSieben taking over was probably the biggest major milestone. And much contrary to what we believed. You know, we thought it was going to be a big corporate coming in and sort of taking us apart and you die eventually. Quite the opposite happened. So we got a turbocharge in terms of media. We've got a lot of intelligence coming out of ProSieben, and with both ProSieben and Oakley in the board now, it's a fantastic combination that has allowed us to have another record year. We've tripled revenue since 2012. We're growing 70% EBITDA year to date versus last year. So we're on to an absolutely fantastic trip. So really, it's been a very, very good trip for us.
Because it's interesting, in the past, when big corporates buy internet companies, the first thought is, oh, the founders, they disappeared to the beach. The corporate will question every single decision, knows everything better, and it's the formula for disaster. Not anymore. Like Axel Springer, so also ProSieben understands how to buy companies and how to retain the talent and how to add value to them. So they haven't changed anything which you didn't want to change, but they helped you on the TV advertising side.
They helped us on TV advertising. There's obviously different synergies that you get from a big corporate, you know, be it in terms of purchasing, sourcing, those kind of things, but also the intelligence that resides within a corporation. It's a lot easier to draw from. So, you know, much to the contrary, they don't come in and change things. I think they're smart enough to understand if you come in as a corporate to a small enterprise, it takes 3 months of corporates to come in and you're dead.
And is
realize that.
Is TV advertising the most profitable marketing you do? Is it the one which really moves the needle?
TV advertising is the one that moves the needle, clearly.
Is it public? Can you say how much you spend on TV advertising, roughly? A little bit?
Public? I don't think it's public until I say it now.
Okay.
So it's somewhere around between 25 and 30 million.
25 and 30 million. And I think that's what you need to spend if you want to be really like a national coverage in Germany. And you started in, I think, utility switches, and then you added insurance, and is it like a 50-50 now?
No, we're not. We're still the dominant #1 player for utility switching in Germany. We do about 2 million contracts switches a year. Still our great driver. Sadly, it's very seasonal, so it all takes place in Q4, as does car insurance switches. So we're a very seasonal business, but we continue to see very, very healthy growth and tremendous EBITDA out of all those switches. So it's great.
Very interesting. Thank you. Mauro, you are a few years later, because you got Oakley as an investor 2014. The Facile platform back then was already the #1, but what has changed since?
First thing is the size, in the sense that revenues are around twice compared to when Oakley bought. EBITDA is between 2 and 3 times when they bought 3 years ago. We are still dominant on insurance, so we have a very high market share among price comparison, which is crucial for us to protect our position. We increase a lot budget for marketing activities, especially offline activities. So we double amount of money we spend on insurance for TV commercial. We tried other type of offline media, such as radio or billboard, and we start to do TV commercial for non-insurance product.
For non-insurance products?
For non-insurance, such as broadband loans.
When did you start with television advertising? But you had Mediaset as an investor, so they are probably pushed it in the early days. But when did you start with TV advertising?
In 2011 with insurance. And then since last year, we had the TV commercial for broadband and loans. And 2 years ago, we start also with the radio.
It's interesting because both of you scaled your business through TV advertising. If you look ahead, do you see that TV advertising is losing importance in your marketing mix? Do you think in 3 years, social will be more important?
I think it's going to top out somewhere. I don't think it's going to lose. But there's also a limit to how much you can invest in TV. You know, after a certain time, if you push as much marketing as we do into TV, the viewer will get fed up. And it'll have a counter effect. He doesn't want to see your TV ad anymore. And we don't have sufficient creatives to keep it interesting or keep a story all year round. So there's this point of saturation where if you go ahead and you go above that, it becomes, you waste the money. And you can look at that in the UK market, where you see Money Supermarket. They spend about 25 to 30 million on TV advertising a year, and they're flat. Their growth continues, but the TV advertising as such stopped.
That's when the margin goes up.
That's where that's where the margin goes up.
So there are some rumors that ProSieben is doing something with their media holding, or with their media investments. Is there anything you can say about Verivox? Are you looking for a new home?
No. Not looking for a new home. We're obviously part of whatever options ProSieben is looking at and looking for, and looking for potential co-investors to look at the digital and content production units. to see what options are available there. But it's really for ProSieben to talk about.
So similar like what Axel Springer did in the classifieds side to bring a partner in. Yeah. What I think is very, very interesting about that approach is that people bring in talent, be it from private equity, bring it from a TV company, or from any type of area, and get expertise in to become more successful. Mauro, when we did the deal, the non-insurance piece was always a big part of the story. As for Verivox, it was going into insurance. For you, it was going into other areas like telecom and utilities. How successful have you been to leverage your customer base from one product to the other? Is there a good cross-sale happening, and how big is the non-insurance part now?
It's quite important. Now it's around 1/3 of revenues, the non-insurance part. It was less than 10% 3 years ago. So in terms of importance on revenues, it's important. Other important point is that each vertical is profitable, because when you cross-sell, you add additional contracts with very high per unit margin. And EBITDA margin is increasing because we start to reach scale also in other verticals.
Okay, so what is happening, Alex, in terms of the big scheme of things? UK market is quite consolidated. What are you looking for in terms of investments in this space? There are lots of eager entrepreneurs here who would like to be part of the Oakley family.
Sure. I mean, in terms of investment, I think more of the same. I mean, both of these companies have performed incredibly well. The real difficulty is finding similar assets in other markets of size. That's the main challenge.
And what size you need?
So for us, I mean, we are investing now 30 to 100 million in equity. The latest fund is 800 million.
And lead gen is one of your specialties, classifieds?
Classified. So education is a big area for us as well.
It's hard to find big companies
media.
there, though. Huh?
We've been very successful with our Educas asset. That's just had a capital increase at a valuation of 620 million. So it's been a good area for us, and we're looking at more investments in that area. But digital really is the core of our franchise, and are always very interested in digital assets.
Right. And if I ask Mauro about synergies with Verivox, I would like you to tell me what was the one single thing you found the most interesting, the most helpful, what you learned by talking to Chris?
Knowledge, in the sense that Chris is also a board member of Facile, and I think that at the end of the day, price comparison is trying new ways to spend money in marketing, and it's a trial and error, and be able to speak with someone that has the same issue I have in the past. It's very good to avoid to lose time and lose money, because you never have enough time and people to try all the things that you want.
By the way, that's also the #1 reason to come to a conference for CEOs, to learn from peers.
Yeah, but it's completely different. Having people in the board that
of course,
that do the same, that did the same in the past, you can be very detailed in sharing knowledge and avoid to make the same mistake a second time.
Chris, what did you learn from Mauro?
I think, seeing as his company is a little bit younger, a lot of the entrepreneurial spirit that he still has in his organization, where we are now close to 400 people, and it becomes a little bit less after 19 years of a startup feeling, that hurts us, right? We're becoming slow. So we need to change that, and Mauro is always a good incentive to sort of, keep it up there for us.
Wonderful. I wish all three of you the best of luck. You're going to find a lot of interesting companies to invest in. Before I let you go, we're doing like a little cryptocurrency survey here. Do you own personally any cryptocurrency?
I do not, no.
I hold it with Jamie Dimon.
Sorry?
I'm with Jamie Dimon on cryptocurrency.
Okay.
No, I don't have a cryptocurrency.
Okay. Very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Enjoy the conference.
Thank you very much.